G'day and welcome to another episode. My name is Dave Shaw, the Aussie Geek, and today we are looking at the Age of the Primes, Micronus Prime. So, some of you might be looking at this going already, wait, how are you standing that up on just the wheel? And honestly, I'm cheating. I have a peg that I'm using as a kickstand. That is the only reason why it is standing up. Otherwise, if you take it off, it falls back. You have to basically fiddle with these arms and angle things. So here is Micronus Prime. We'll tilt the camera up a little bit. He does look pretty damn cool. Now, this isn't how he comes packaged, so we'll get to that in a minute. So, but yeah, it looks pretty good. He has his own little vehicle, which is the Apex armor, from what I believe is from Transformers Prime. Also, he's using the look, I believe, of RID 2015, I think, in his looks, which actually sound about right, although I have not really watched much in the way of RID 2015. I know of it, I have not watched it. There is some other things here too, but we'll get to them in a minute. And this is definitely going to be an episode of me messing with the zoom, hopefully not too much. So he does look pretty damn cool. Everything's going to be blurry in the background. Oh well, shit happens. But he does look pretty cool. I actually do dig him. Articulation is actually pretty decent for a bot this size. And now I'm already messing with the zoom. He's big, he's chunky. He does quite a lot, honestly. So far I haven't had any issues with his legs. But hopefully that will stay that way. So yeah, he's pretty cool. You'll notice he's very round, and we'll get to why. He also has, well, everything's blurry. I should have taken it off before I started the review. We have this, which is apparently, from what I understand, what the hell are you focusing on? I bet you're focusing on B. There we go. So we have this, which, from what I understand, I actually had to Google it, is the Chimera Stone, which apparently Solus made him. And the gist I get from it is that it allows Micronus to share his strength with the other of the 13, or take strength from the other 13 from the wiki page that I had a look at regarding this, because I wasn't sure what the hell this exactly was. There was an example after apparently Solus dying, Megatronus killing Solus, that it basically pissed off Micronus, and he took power from Onyx and went all beast mode on him. What the outcome, I have no idea. But yeah, apparently Micronus had a thing of using this to give Solus extra strength while she was forging the weapons leading up to their battle with Unicron. So it's a nice little button thing, whatever you want to call it. You can plug it into his back, like so. If you want to do that, I'm not quite sure which way it's supposed to go. I'm assuming that way, I'm guessing. Honestly, this is the closest I've ever got to actually looking at this. You can also put it on the Apex armor, which is generally where I store it. So, there we go. Now, he does do one thing that I really, really like. If he didn't do this, I would have been disappointed, and I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, we're going to we'll do a quick size comparison. Yeah, we'll do a quick size comparison. We'll use Scorchfire, Legends Windblade's head. So there's Scorchfire compared to Micronus. And I won't bother zooming out or anything, but there he is next to Prime's foot, MP10's foot. So quite small. We'll do a better size comparison when we get him into his Apex armor, but you can transform this guy, and we'll actually need it for when he does get his Apex armor on. Excuse me. But to transform, you're supposed to turn the head around. Honestly, I find the head very difficult to turn, so I'm not going to do that. But you want to push the head back, and it doesn't affect any of this. Nothing gets in the way. You're going to pull on the arm, and that's going to drop it down. You want to rotate the shoulder. So this is going to come down. The hand, oh, actually, you know what? Before we do that, let's do articulation, because otherwise I just about forget. So head can do a full 360. It's just very stiff. Head can look way up, can look some down, which is actually nice. A little bit side to side, because is it a ball joint? Yes, it's a ball joint. Arms can do a full 360. They can go out that far. We have a ball jointed elbow. We can bend the elbow that far. There's nothing at the fingers or the wrist. We have no waist rotation. Legs go up that far, go back that far, and actually go out that far. We have ball joint at the knee that gets you rotation there. Knee bend gets you that far, and feet don't get you anywhere, but it is sculpted in, angled. Right, now we can get back to the transformation. So, push the head back, rotate the arms, and bring them out and down. Don't need to go all the way. Well, you can, but we're not going to do that far yet. You're going to rotate the feet in. Then we want to, because all this is going to sort of clip in together, fold this around, fold this around. And I don't think I have my arm, no, my hands weren't in the right spot. Push them in as far as they'll go. And my knees don't quite tab in as far as I'd like. Like I said, the head has no issue. You know, you can actually stick his head up there, so it doesn't cause any issues. But yeah, my tabbing points, because there's a tapping point in the foot that goes into the knee, is not very tight, and it easily comes out. And also there is slight clearance in his knees, so he doesn't quite get together. But if I press that all together, you can easily make out the Minicon symbol, which, considering, of course, Micronus is the first Minicon. So that's pretty damn cool. All right, let's get down to the Apex armor, which is this thing, which I suppose you could say part Pretender if you really, really wanted to. As I said before, it won't stand up on its own, but it can roll. That wheel will spin, which is pretty cool, though I don't know what it's rubbing against. So, don't know what you could use that for, but we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. You can, of course, put his hands on here. It can roll, just very awkward-like. So, size comparison. There he is with wood blade. And of course, the observant of you will notice it has hands and stuff. That's because we're about to pull this apart. So we take these off. We lift these pieces up. We come under here and we untab these. There's 4 pins for 4 ports. And we can pull that out. And now this is all separated. I'm just going to lift the seat up so we can actually get a little bit more clearance. And you have all this. And yes, while I don't have one in here, you can actually use this as a weaponizer. So yes, Micronus' Apex armor can be used to strengthen any 5mm port modern transformers you've got. Like I said, I haven't got any in here at the moment, but you know, weaponizers, if you like your weaponizers, then great. All right, so to get this guy transformed, you're going to flip the head up. You're going to bring these pieces down, like so. You can drop that again and just have these sticking out, or if you want, you can lift this up and then fold these down. They don't really tab in anywhere. Depends on how clear you want the backpack. I actually like it out because it sort of gives it the sort of propeller feeling. So there's that. We can take this. Now, like I said before, this isn't how he comes in the box. He actually comes all transformed already. But I'm just trying to find the piece here. So pull them out. You're going to bring this tab out, and we'll get back to that in a minute too. This all comes out. That's going to fold under there, like so. We want to bring these up. There's your knees. You can then fold that back in. I'm trying to remember which way is which. So this way, because of where the ports are. You want to rotate this way, bring this down, rotate that way. You want to untab here and slide up. And it sort of locks into place. Same on the other side. And of course, all else fails. If you're not sure which way goes, look for the ankle tilt. So we can take this. We're going to... Where is it? We want to rotate this piece back. So we have these two prongs pointing back. That's going to tab into here. Whoops. Was supposed to tab into there. There we go. Like so. We can, of course, bring these in, but we won't do that just yet. We will actually grab Micronus. And we have this port here and this port here, or tab, whatever you want to call it. And just make sure it's the right way around. Plug that in. You can then close this piece and this piece. Get in there. Stay. Close that up. That will tab nicely together. Of course, you can take your Chimera Stone, and I'm looking to see, make sure I'm in the right way around. And of course, if you want to keep this here for other mode, you don't actually have to remove that for transformation. We then take our arms and make sure you figure out where the thumb is. That tabs in there. That tabs in there. And there is Micronus. Angle his head how you wish. There is Micronus in his Apex armor. And from what, once again, what the wiki was telling me, basically the idea was that any Transformer or 13 could wear this and it will give him a boost. For reasons, I guess, they decided that Micronus was going to be the way to go. Also, old reference, depending on which movie you saw. Why are you having trouble focusing? There we go. The head, or at least the visor, reminds me of Klaatu from The Day the Earth Stood Still, specifically the 1950s version, not the, God, what was it, late 90s, early 2000s Keanu Reeves version, which I didn't mind, but was nowhere near as good as that one. Also, for those curious, my first video I ever uploaded was Klaatu, which was X-Transbot's Cosmos, which is actually where the name comes from. So here is the X-Pex armor. Like I said, you can fold this up if you want a cleaner backpack, and just sort of bring this down. You just have to angle it so it doesn't get in the way of things. And if you just want, you know, a cleaner look, I'd actually like the propeller things. So yeah, pretty damn good. And articulation's pretty nice. The head is a little limited though. So you can turn it. I want to say not 360 because I think I'm actually hitting the sides of the thing. You can look down, which is more for transformation. You can look up. There's nothing between the head and the torso. So yes, you do have a gap. Arms can do it for 360. Of course, you'd have to move those pieces of the back out of the way if you wanted a cleaner. Arms go out that far. You have upper bicep rotation. I just thought of something, but I'll get back to that in a minute. Elbow bend gets you that far. You actually have a wrist rotation. Nothing at the fingers either way, and ironically, you have typewriter thumb, but you have blaster fingers. So, sweet. No waist rotation because of how the hips attach. Legs can go out that far, come forward that far, and of course you have to get things out of the way, but go back that far, probably even more. You have upper thigh rotation, because I think that might be, it's not necessarily a mushroom peg, but something very similar. You have elbow bend that gets you, well, here's the thing, is it gets you that far on this one. But if we go this one and just get this out of my way, you can get way more. The problem with this one is you have this peg here, which actually restricts your knee bend. What's kind of cool, if you want to use it, and it works more when you actually bend the knee, that piece that actually makes it a circle, you can actually use that as a knee cover, and bring that as you wish. So that actually kind of follows the gap. You have way deep ankle articulation. Tees. Toes don't really move. Well, they do move down, but it's more for transformation. So there is that. So the one thing I was thinking of was the 5mm ports. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 if you count that one, 12, 13. So you have plenty of potential. You can weaponize the weaponizer. So there we go, and try to get some level of focus. All right, let's get to size comparison. There he is with MP10. Now he's a deluxe, so yeah, that's about right. Maybe over here a little bit. Here he is with A Hero Is Born Alpha Trion with Legacy United. I'll focus that a lot better. Come on. Legacy United, Vector Prime, and of course, each of the primes. Primer Prime. And I will do a size comparison with these three when we get back into little mode. And thankfully, I've cleaned a bit of my side table off, so they've actually got a room to stand, but God help me when we get to the other ones. So, anyway. So, let's get him back to mini him. Preferably focused. Focus. Thank you. All right, so what we are going to do is we're going to untab those arms. We're going to weaponize him again. We want to split his chest. Like I said, you can keep this plugged in. Trying to get Micronus out can be a little iffy if he doesn't just want to fall out. Ugh. So we'll put him to the side for the moment. We can then untab the legs. And we have all this goodie again. So we are going to drop the head down. We are going to, the instructions actually show this wider, which helps if you've got the arms unplugged. These will fold up. We take our legs and we bring our toe down. Oops, I just untabbed it. Thank God. I will say that's the one thing, at least with mainline figures, if I do something like this, it's not actually broken, which is great. So I can't quite see. So 1 second. All right, back to where we're up to. So this is going to come down and tab into there. Bring this down. That will tab into there. Rotate the legs out. Now, once again, you're going to need to bring this out first, And before we get all this done, I'll just get this out of the way. You're going to bring this in. We're going to need to rotate his upper thigh. Do the same thing on the other side. We're also going to bring this up. So we have these pegs pointing up. This is going to, if I've done it right, fold in. And of course, these are going to fill in those gaps. Fold in. And I'm just keeping that out for the moment. But you can then tab that together and you actually have something to hold on to. And now that I've actually got, we'll use primer here. So of course you can take that and you can, if I can keep things tabbed together. Stay. You do not want to go into that port, do you? All right. So you might have to shave a little bit off it, but you know, you can preferably, we'll use his arms. So we can give, ironically, I put it on the wrong arm. So you can, of course, give, you can give primer a few extra arms if that's something you really want to do. I don't know what the deal is with that peg. I think it might be a little too thick and you might need to shave a little bit off, but that won't be an entirely massive problem. You can go back over there. But for the transformation, we need that out of the way. So we're just going to separate it a little bit. So once you've got all this tucked in here, you can fold that in, tab it back together, and that's all done. So we take this piece and we need to bring these down a little bit. Actually, I think we need to get them underneath. Yeah. So I'm going to bring that up, bring it down, because we need to actually get it underneath those. Get them angled just under, and then flatten that out. But we don't want to plug them all in yet because we need to get these all plugged in. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And just because the fun of it, you need to try to line up the holes. If you can get one side in, you're pretty right. Though I don't know why that just wanted to unplug for me. Where are we? So one there. So just try to squish one in and then do your best to straighten up and then just try to line the other side up. Where are you? Right. Give me. I think I got it. Do I got it? Kind of. Yes. No. Maybe not. Where are you? Try to lean it over a little bit more. Have I got you? It's honestly not this hard. I don't know why I'm getting so much difficulty trying to line that up. But once you line it up, you're right. There we go. And then what you want to do is you have this port, this tab that just comes down, plugs into the side, like so. Now you can, I suppose, leave these up, but then he has difficulty actually sitting on this, considering that is the seat. You have this peg, which I suppose if you really wanted to, you could weirdly plug him into the back there and do it that way if that's something you want to do, or find something else that'll plug in like that. You can take his arms. Now, if you don't want to use my peg method, I recommend you put the arms so your thumbs are pointing down and using the elbow bend to be your stand. Now, the idea is you're supposed to put the thumbs up. So to use that, go the opposite side, you plug that in, and of course, you put it on both sides, and that is your kickstand instead. Obviously, I'm not needing to do that, but plug that in there. Whoops. Get back in there. Just push that in. It doesn't sit in perfect, but decent enough, and just sort of this goes into the little groove. So that's just like that. Like I said, if you want, you can switch that around. You can do it by switching the fingers as well, but you go sort of switch the bicep, switch the fingers, bring it down, but then you have this giant gap, which honestly I feel is unsightly. And of course, then you can take your other weaponizers, and now that we have this empty, you have the shoulders, which is where the shoulders would have gone, and these, nothing really back there, but there is all that. And then of course you take your peg or whatever and find somewhere to attach it to, and voila, there is the Apex armor in vehicle mode again. So put that off to the side because we're now done with that for the time being. All right, back to Micronus, who's like tried to half untransform anyway. All right, so very easy, of course, to untransform. You want to bring the legs out, or down in this case. I'm not going to rotate it just yet. You want to pop out the hands. Then you want to bring up on this hinge. It is a little tight on mine, so just be careful. Bring that up. And then rotate our feet. Rotate our shoulders. And of course, if you haven't done the head, which of course it was done in when I first bought it, you have to rotate the head, but you slide up the head. And there is Micronus. Back. Back. Come on. Come on, damn it. This is why I keep thinking I need to have a backboard. Either that or I need a better phone. Come on, damn it. Stop looking at Bumblebee. God damn it. Thank you. I tried doing a backboard, remember, with that red background, and it was absolutely atrocious. So there is Micronus back in his robot mode. And of course, you can plug things in, and of course, you can get him on his bike. So now we can do proper size comparison. Here he is. I know I did before, but there he is with MP10. So yeah, he tiny, which, you know, I'm sorry, but if your Micronus is huge, there's something wrong with you. Once again, just for the hay of it, I know I did it, but bugger it. There he is with Scorchfire. And now we bring the big boys in. Here he is with Alpha Trion. Here he is. Whoops. With Vector Prime. Bring you over a little bit, Alpha, so Vector's backpack and fit. And of course, here he is with Primer. So yeah, they just absolutely tower over him, but I would have it no other way. I love the way he looks. I do love it. Like I said, haven't watched much of RID 2015. I didn't even really watch much of Transformers Prime. I sort of dropped out of that. I was aware of it, but I just really dropped out of it. So yeah, it looks really good. I do know that he did have a tendency to give Optimus Prime a good amount of wisdom. So there we go. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, give me a thumbs down. I promise you it will not hurt my feelings. Subscribe, ring that bell, leave me a comment. And apart from that, thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.